tuned by Mr. Nat King Cole, introduces Viewpoint, the program of politicians, personalities, and perspectives. Good morning, Mrs.
I'd
Busby.
say we're leaning this time to personality and perspective. I don't think that this young lady is running for or from anything currently.
No, I would think that she would be very happy in the rest of her life if she stayed out of the political minefield. Newt Gingrich is stepping on mines all over hell and back.
Well, yeah, but he's not the only one. What about poor John Edwards? Now they're going to try and indict him for using...
I didn't see that.
Yes, well, it seemed that there were funds that they think might have intermingled. What with supporting the little Sweetums.
Was it the Power and Corruption? Remember that?
He gave that speech, yes.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, he was all for it, evidently.
Power corrupts, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. We are going to have you bring on our lovely little guest this morning. We always start, Kristi, always try to start Viewpoint with some acknowledgments of something's going on in the community. Would you like your coffee, Mrs.
Well,
Wilson?
I would, and I forgot that they were having the camera on you, and here I am just swinging my arms around, getting my coffee. Important things.
The big weekend is coming up, Memorial Day, which used to be called Decoration Day. Were you aware of that term?
No, I was not.
Too doggone young, that's why.
She's only 12.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah. Well, you know, in all these communities all over the country, there's Jim's cat coming here beg to be let in or out. We're not sure which yet. Come on, George. We'll let you out.
Here you go.
Where was I before being interrupted?
Decoration.
You were talking about Decoration
Yes,
Day.
oh yes. Well, we decorate the cat while he's going out. These small communities all over the country, in particular right here in our own backyard, you know, they have these little memorial services here in Atlanta, Mount Pulaski, and all over. These things don't just happen. Somebody has to get to work and organize them and put them on. And for years we've done it down here at the courthouse. Now it's had to be moved out to the American Legion. But the point I make is that somebody has to get on the ball and get things going and organize it and do things. So, you know, kudos to all those folks out there who are getting involved in this very, very important day. I noted also, I got it in the mail, I'm going to hold it up here. I don't know where the camera's going to go. The camera won't get this. But yesterday I got
says it will.
Okay. I'll bring that up here. Yesterday I got a mail from the Experimental Aircraft Association. And on the postcard here is a lovely picture of a B-17, one of the glorious ships of the Second War Air Corps. And they're going around to the various parts of the country and giving rides. And on July the 3rd, or July the 1st to the 3rd, they're going to be in Springfield. And for the magnificent sum of $439, which is a lot of money. But when you stop to think about it, it costs an awful lot of money to put that thing in the air. And there's been a lot of loving care putting in restoring this little rascal here. And she's a lovely ship. And I don't know, I'm trying to think maybe whether I will spend $400 to go back and pay them for a ride, which they used to pay me $20.30 for to fly in it. So
$20.30 per what?
Well, just I
Week?
mean, a figure of speech, you know, whatever. Well, I forgot what my pay was at that time as a sergeant. It sure wasn't a whole lot. I don't know. Anyway, go back and pay them for what we used to get free rides once in a while. Some of them different than others. Airport days. I want to talk about that just a minute here. The Heritage in Flight, folks, coming up this weekend, starting at noon on Monday. Golden County Airport be the place for the entire family to enjoy a day of events. And they're going to have rides for young folks. Are going to have they have the Young Eagles program, whereas they get younger folks interested in aviation and so forth. And who knows, some of them come on and might be pilots and serve their country. Who knows down the road? From 2 to 4 p.m. there will be a World War II briefs and reenactment ceremonies and recognition. Then they're going to have the antique car rolling in there about 3 p.m. And all in all, it's a family day at the Golden County Airport, and you're urged to be there. There's a lot to going on, and it's a great way to celebrate Memorial Day. So we want to give the credit to those folks who work on that. They do a pretty good job out there in that little modest museum we have. And one final note, going along with the air business, the honor flight, folks. I went down and played in a golf tournament last Friday down, lovely course down in Auburn. And they're going to have a special concert by a lady from Europe who apparently is big time over there. This lady is going to have this concert on Saturday, June the 18th at the Lakeside Christian Church. And it's free will donations, and all of those go to the honor flight. This brief story behind that is this young lady had somebody involved in the honor flight in her home as a guest, and this person is bringing this young lady and I think an associate or two over at his own expense, and this girl is putting on this concert. So that would be Sunday, June the 18th, 1:15, Lakeside Christian Church. That's just right off of Toronto Road. So why don't we think in terms of introducing a guest? Think that'd be appropriate? Young lady drove up here in all the rain, my gosh.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
Poor thing. Kristi Lessen is in charge of the Healthy Communities Partnership, and you who have gotten your daily paper this morning will note that there was a very nice letter to the editor from Ginger Yazel. Mrs. Yazel is the principal at Washington Monroe's School in Lincoln, and she was thanking Kristi for the help that some students there got from the Education Task Force, which is one part of the Healthy Communities Partnership. The part that I was very peripherally involved with was the Hope Mobile. Used to be called the Corn Mobile when it had an ear of corn painted on it. And they do wonderful things, but the scope of Healthy Communities Partnership is indeed very broad. And this has kind of opened my eyes to it, and I thought others may be interested as well in knowing all the programs that you're involved in the county of Logan. Thank you for being with us this morning, Ms.
It's my
Lessen.
pleasure. Thanks for asking me.
Glad you could be here. I'm glad you could ford the moat out here to get in.
You know, I remember when we christened the mobile with some, I think it was watermelon juice. I'm using that as figure of speech.
Yes.
Behind the garage at the old hospital. And I was there for that day, and I remember you being there. That was very, very, very impressive.
Kristi was not very well at that point. I can recall that well.
not
She's
that
just trying to
There's some
recover
bad
from
hurts.
a terrible accident. Kristi, thanks for coming. And Healthy Community Partnership. I think I'm probably not the only one who identifies it with the Hope Mobile, because it's a big vehicle, and it travels all around the county, so people see it.
It's our rolling billboard.
It really kind of is, isn't it? That's a good description. But since Mrs. Yazel brought up the business of the Healthy Communities Partnership's Education Task Force, let's talk for a moment about that and what they're involved in and what they try to promote.
The Education Task Force is actually our newest task force. It came about, I want to say 3 years ago, in large part due to the Chamber of Commerce Leadership Academy. What we found out through the schools is that the graduation rate, it's based on the number of students who started their freshman year and the number that graduate on graduation day. Even if they take a couple of extra classes and don't graduate until June, that counts against that graduation rate. So if they're for graduation, that just happened, Saturday? So if a couple of others in that class don't graduate until next month, that doesn't count towards their graduation rate of their original class. So that doesn't help with the graduation rate.
No, it doesn't. But how significant is that number? Does that change the picture dramatically?
We haven't been able to actually determine that just yet. We're still in beginning stages and trying to figure out ways to be able to address the graduation rate and dropout rate in a more successful way. But with the alternative classes at the high school, Janet Lovedahl has been phenomenal. I mean, she was rifted last year, but was able to come back, and that has helped out a lot of students who wouldn't be able to necessarily graduate. The online classes that they're having, to be able to get some extra credits and things like that. There are a lot of things that Lincoln Community High School is doing to help address this, and we want to be able to support them in everything that they're doing to help address these as well. I'd like to be able to get the numbers of those who graduated later, to be able to go back and try to figure out how that would impact the graduation rate. The dropout rate, we're looking at, we have a mentoring program that is just getting up and started within Lincoln Junior High. It's kind of a pilot program to see working with junior high students that could be considered, in need of a mentor. And I am actually mentoring a student at the junior high right now, and this afternoon is supposed to be my last time mentoring with her this school year. And it's been an eye-opening experience for me mentoring this student. She's really bright and personable, but may not necessarily have all the benefits that a lot of other kids have. She's got a lot of kids in her family. Her mom's working out of town, so it makes it difficult.
Yes, of course it does, and that's not an unusual circumstance. Mothers do work now. In the olden days, Mrs. Gossett and I were at home with our kids, and it does make a difference. Do you find that that parental involvement is becoming more difficult to obtain?
I think that is becoming more difficult to attain. Parental involvement, we found, research has shown that parental involvement in their kids' lives is so important, not just for education, but for substance abuse prevention, which we also have a task force on that. Teen pregnancy prevention, we also have a task force on that. And we try to have programs that get parents involved, but they're always so busy. Whether they're at their kids' athletic events or their own meetings or things like that, it's just, I know how hard it is for me as a single parent to two preschoolers and trying to find time to do everything that we need to do.
And this very thing of which we speak has a huge socio-economic impact
Definitely.
all the way through. You see, you're really working at the secondary grassroots level here, being in secondary education as opposed to elementary. The problems start way down there.
And we're looking at some programs that will start in grade school.
But I love you for somebody is here's a good example of somebody seeing a need and doing something about it. The old mantra, nothing happens till somebody makes it happen.
Well, obviously.
Well, and it's the partnership has grown. We started 13 years ago with 5 agencies interested in improving the health in Logan County, and we now have 56 agencies and organizations who provide services within Logan County, and 13 churches that have a parish nurse. We also have, I think, 5 community volunteers that sit on task forces that are all out there working together to try to better the health and quality of life of the people of Logan County.
Would you take just a moment to address this parish nurse program, please?
The parish nurse program is it's a task force with nurses that attend a church. They have to go through a class, and our parish nurse task force has some money set aside to pay for nurses to attend these classes. It depends on where they are, when they are, but sometimes Carl Foundation or Carl Hospital will put them on sometimes. I know Decatur Memorial Hospital has had some classes. I think St. John's has some parish nurse classes as well. But you go through these classes to become a parish nurse, and then you can provide the emotional, social, physical health needs for people in your congregation. They put on classes for people in our congregation. They sometimes do home visits. They'll do blood pressure checks in their churches. But we're fortunate that we have all of the parish nurses within Logan County working together to help all of their parishes as well, all of their congregations. It's really a phenomenal organization.
I'd like to mention the phone number, Judith K., in case somebody has a comment about this great work that you're doing on behalf of the youngsters and for the future, for a huge impact on their future. 648-5510, in case anybody has any questions or comments, Kristi and Judy and myself would be very happy to have you give us a ring. 648-5510.
Moving beyond helping children, which Bill and I both approve of, don't we?
I think so.
Yes. However, some of us aren't children and haven't been for quite a while. And I don't remember who to thank for it, but somebody brought me a big pile of papers stapled together that they'd picked up at the rec. Mm-hmm. And it had to do with all the agencies available to senior citizens to help them with one thing and the next. Mm-hmm. And this was compiled by Healthy Community Partnership. Did you have a special group that attends to the needs and wants and health of seniors?
We actually have a senior issues task force.
There you go.
And we have people that are very interested in helping seniors and that are working with seniors. Christian Village, the Oasis, Maple Ridge, Castle Manor. We have a lot of those organizations working with seniors. Senior Services of Central Illinois, the hospital. So we all come together and work in trying to find ways to keep seniors more independent, and not to necessarily have to rely on anybody, because I know my grandma is almost 91, and she just recently moved into assisted living in Decatur. Mm-hmm. And she has said it's the best thing she's ever done. I think it's extended her life probably by 10 years. She, has turned younger. She's getting up every morning, getting dressed, going to breakfast, has made friends. It just makes me smile thinking about it, because she's so happy with it.
The companionship, if nothing else, is just of the utmost importance.
Yes, and last year we hosted our first USO dance on Veterans Day.
Yes.
And we had a swing band come to the American Legion and did that, and we're doing that again this year on the 10th, I believe, of November. So that will be another free event for seniors. And we had Lincoln Christian University students came out and that had been learning swing, and we're doing that, and it was very cool to watch them doing the swing dances, and then they got out some of the seniors and we're dancing with them as well. So
how
seeing
fun.
The intergenerational stuff was really neat too.
Would you like to go dancing next November the 10th?
That kind of...
I'm not sure I'll be here, but...
I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, and I'm afraid that...
There was a gentleman whose wife was unable to come that took me out there, and actually somebody took video of it. I don't think they've posted it anywhere, thank goodness, but I could not keep up with him. I mean, he was swinging me all over the place, and I looked... It's on my phone, and my daughter loves looking at it and just giggles because I look so out of place and disorganized in the dancing that she just giggles every time she watches it.
She met her daughter, and I want to get to that, but you mentioned the Leadership Academy.
Yes.
That's been kind of a neat little thing to evolve here, hasn't it? And
yeah, it has.
Several, I forgot now how many, but several classes have gone through this.
I think at least 5. I was in the first one 5 years ago.
You were? Mm-hmm. Well, speak to that just a minute. Tell us about that and the experience and how it enhances your involvement in the community activities.
Well, the Chamber of Commerce, and I hope I don't speak out of turn for Andy Hake. She will probably come after me if I speak out of turn. So, if you have any questions, call the Chamber. Yeah, okay, thanks. If you have any questions, definitely call the Chamber.
Sure.
But the Leadership Academy, when it came about 5 years ago, I was very interested in it and signed up to do it. And I think there was about 20 of us. But it's I want to say it's 10 Fridays. I'm not positive, but it's some Friday mornings that you get together with a group of people and you work on a project and you learn about local politics, state politics. We took a day and went down to the Capitol and met with Bonnke and Brower, and then we had a morning that we were at City Hall with the mayor and I believe the county board representatives were there as well, and then just working on leadership skills and classes on how to become a better leader and do better things for your community.
Well, it's a great program, and it endures to the benefit of the community to have these leadership councils going on. They have class sizes how many, 10, 15, or 12?
Right around there, yeah,
In
I'd
that
say.
area. So that's a really neat thing. I want to get personal about your children just a minute. And the first thing we're going to do is take a little commercial break, and then
Okay.
we're going to talk about these Guatemalan youngsters.
Okay.